Okay, on example 5, first thing we notice is we've got fractions, right? And we love fractions. No? Alright, so we need to find a way to get rid of these fractions. There's different ways to do it. One way is you can find the least common denominator of all the fractions and multiply by it, but sometimes I find y'all have trouble still with that. So even though it's going to make my numbers a little bit bigger, I'm just going to multiply everything by all of my denominators. So in the end, it's going to make my numbers a little bit bigger, but it'll help make it easier to get things to disappear. So the first thing is to get rid of this 8 on bottom, I'm going to multiply by an 8. And what we do to 1, we have to do to all. So this also gets an 8, and this also gets an 8. But that only gets rid of the first one. I also need to get rid of this 3 right here. So that means I'm going to have to multiply everything by a 3. So the first parenthesis, the second one, and the third one get it. But I've got a third fraction here. It has a denominator of 12. So I'm also going to multiply all of them by a denominator of 12. Alright, so I'm going to write it out what I have this time. So I have here, I have 8 times 3 times 12 times that 3/8 x plus 8 times 3 times 12 times 1/3 equals 8 times 3 times 12 times that 7/12. Now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to cancel anything I can. So see this first piece here, this 8's going to cancel. So I'm left with 3 times 12 times 3x. The second piece here, let me change colors. This 3 is going to cancel. So I've got my plus 8 times 12 times, well, let me put in parentheses like I had it above, 1. Then I got my equals. On this one, my 12s are going to cancel, so I'm left with that 8 times 3 times that 7. So then from here, we can just go ahead and start working out our pieces. We've got 3 times 12 times 3x, which is 108x. Here we've got 8 times 12 times 1, so it's plus 96, equals, over here we got 8 times 3 times 7, which is 168. Now that we've got that, we can see this, yes, our numbers are a little bigger, but this is a problem that we can work. Just like we did in example 1, we want to get that x by itself. So let's do that. So the first thing we need to do then is move that 96 over. So I'm going to subtract 96 because it's positive. So I'm going to do that. I've got my 108x. 96 minus 96 cancels. Equals 168 minus 96 is 72. And then that's 108 times x. Opposite of times is divide. And I need to get rid of that 108. So I'm going to do that. The 108 cancels, so I get x equals 72 over 108 reduces to 2 over 3. But now I can't do that as a decimal because 2/3 is 0.6 repeated, and it's not exact. Therefore, so you have to leave this as a fraction. So we can say our answer is 2/3, or we can write it as a solution set as 2 over 3.